You excelled at reinforcing that age was no restriction to boldness and adventure when you learned how to skydive after age 50. You were an artist at heart. Your portrait pencil sketches, but a preview of your natural talent. Your craftsmanship saw you recycle disposed bits of parachute and plane parts to construct all manner of furniture and decor in the house, reflective of yours and your wife's artistic abilities. You were highly intuitive and perceptive and spent time with each of us separately and collectively to impart your lessons on everything, ranging from logic and reasoning problems and spirituality to global geopolitics and more. Whenever we asked you a question, you would ask us what we thought about the subject, in the end, allowing us to arrive at our own conclusions. At other times, you would just offer a candid opinion in a few concise statements and move on. You had the most wicked sense of humor and loved to make fun of people. One learned to develop a thick skin after years of exposure to it. When it was time for us to go to boarding school, you took pride in setting up your barber's shop on the compound of the house, skillfully cutting our hair with such ease that some of us, don't worry, I won't mention your name, thought that we could do just as well before hacking our cousin's hair to the most shocking yet hilarious spectacle. Later, the drive to boarding school was always your pride of place, taking Zaneto and Santua to Wesley Girls. You and Mom would always ensure that you visited during the term, and in my case, Amina's case, I beg your pardon, you would regale her friends with stories about the time in Achimota and the mischief that you got up to. You mastered every aircraft that you flew, defying gravity with each flight. Your flying gave you the eyes of an eagle and added dimension to your perspective on the situation on the ground, literally. Even among the clouds, you were an artist. You were a master of the skies. Your skill as a pilot was so well and purposefully honed, yet never giving way to fearless recklessness, fully understanding that an element of fear is a requirement to anticipate danger. Never succumbing to the mundanity of life, you raised us to challenge the ordinary and to push beyond our comfortable boundaries. You taught us to stand up for those who could not, even at the risk of standing alone. We were never too young or too small to be privy to your thoughts, which you shared on world politics, on the inequity of the world economic system, on the plight of people of Africa. With every stage of our lives, you remain consistent with your mantra on life. Walk your path, know your purpose, live your life, make your mistakes and learn from them. Take ownership of your actions. In all this, be guided by your inner spiritual radar. Most importantly, never let your feet leave the ground. You always spoke with such pride about our valiant officers and men of the armed forces, the precision of our Air Force, and lamented angrily about the cowardice of those not willing to seek out truth or fight for what is just, not just for oneself, but for one's fellow Ghanaian in the face of adversity. And of course, let's not forget the incorruptible knights and guardians that stood by you, believing in your vision in Ghana. Whatever your faults, whatever your shortcomings, you always thought about the health and well-being of others before yourself. And it's such a shame that not every individual got to see or experience that about you. However, we take solace in the fact that enough hearts were touched by you, whether it was paying school fees of numerous students, telling your family to squeeze in the car while you gave countless strangers a lift on the motorway, or giving a very well-accomplished academic student a flight in one of the aircrafts. Since your passing, we have been inundated by testimonies of the number of people you supported. Your kindness knew no bounds. soldier, warrior, father, grandfather, sage, friend. Daddy, thank you for sharing your life with us. Thank you for teaching us to be and to do. Your work is done. You're free now, so walk briskly and purposefully as you do among the ancestors. You will always be our warrior garden.